Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about loops in Python. So, what is actually loops? Loops is a Python reusable code. Suppose you want to print 1 to 10. What do? It's going to print 1 and then just list it up to 10. Now, that's going to take a long time and that is not really good. Because if someone says that, now I want for 20, you're gonna add 10 more, right? Because, yeah, but repeating the same code ever more whenever you want is the concept of loop. So let's just get into it and start our program. Okay, so open your PyCharm. Now let's just create a new file. Just gonna name it loops. Alright, now this file, let's just say how loops. Now we know the concept of loop for reusable code, and it's repeating a same code multiple times. So just say I want to print 1 to 10 by using loop. So what would I do? So I'll type for. Now we need a variable name which will change to 1 to 2 to 3. Now that variable value will be replaced to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. How am I supposed to do that? Just say for I is my variable name, in range. As you can see, range is a function where three parameters. First parameter is starting point, second parameter is where to the end point, and third parameter how much you want to add. Say now we know if I do 1 to 5, let's just type 5 by an example. Now as I told you, this variable's value is going to be changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But whenever I say 5, 5 is the end point. So it's gonna stop at 4. Makes sense. So let's just print it and see the value. Simply gonna run this loop. As you can see, we got 0 to 4 because every time if you don't specify the start parameter, it's gonna be by default a 0. And if you don't send the last parameter, which is how much you want to add it, it's gonna be by default 1. So that's why it just adds up to 1. And now if I say you're gonna start from 1, and end to 5, so it's gonna end to 4, right? So I think it should do 5 plus 1 to end it on 5, or let's type 6. Now we get 1 to 5 as a result. Now I think I wanted to just print 1, 3, and 5. So it will add up to two numbers. Now I just say 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 1, 3, and to 5. But suppose I want to add it up to 2. So I say 1, and then you're going to add up 2 to 3, and then you're going to add up 2 to 5, and then how much the end point. So you say the last parameter, I'm going to put 2 here. As you can see, this works. Now, if you want to see the live session while doing this, like you want to see every time the for I variable changing, how are you willing to see this? This program just already executed and it just don't show you what happened at the middle of the program. But if you want to know about what happened in the middle of the program, you can use a debug toolbar, what is in PyCharm. So just click on the for loop, the number one, so here. Then just click this blank spaces here. Now whenever you click it, this should look like this. I just right click this and debug loops. And this is our debugger, which is going to be working right now. Okay. As you can see, it should go green. And now there's some multiple buttons. You step into my code, step out, run to cursor, and this is show executing point. So I'm gonna click at step into, so you're gonna get more details. See, every time I step into, this will go for the number 2, and as you can see, the variable I has a starting point 1, so it changed the value to 1. And then if I do this, you see the console show a little small yellow icon. As you can see, 1 is already printed. So it just show you the live in the middle of the code, which is really good. See, perfect. Now this is called for loop. Now there is for each as well, but we're gonna talk about it later when we learn lists, tuples, and everything. Okay. Now let's go to while loop. Alright, so what is while loop? As we know, for the for loop, by looking at the program of the for loop, we at least know for loop takes a minimum range, because for loop needs a range. It is a declared point where to end, but in while loops there are no declared point. You just end it where the condition becomes false. Let me just give you an example. Suppose the for loop and while loop example. Let's just say you wake up in the morning and you will walk 4 kilometers and then come back. So what you do, you just for loop this to 1 to 4, because you know you're gonna walk only 4 kilometers. That is the concept of for loops. But what is while loop doing? Suppose you're gonna walk until you find a saloon, or you find your home, or whatever. So this is a condition which needs to be true. So while loop takes a condition. Now if that condition becomes false, you are going to break from the loop. Let me just give you an example. Let's just type while. Now I'm going to do the same example again. So let's say I equals 1. I made a variable I, which I declared as a value 1 integer. Let's say while I equal 5. Now you know while loops breaks from the loop whenever you get a false condition. Whenever your condition becomes false. So say while I not equals and I plus equals 1. Now I'll show you what I've done. So what I've done here is if I equals 5, it will return true, right? Now if I is not equal 5, then it will return false. Alright, so I'm gonna run this program and we got the values. Now let's just see it from the internal using our debug toolbar, what it just showed. Now just debug loops. Now I is equal 0, we know I is not 5. So I isn't 5, so it's return a true condition. Whenever it's a true condition, you're gonna step in. Alright, it's gonna add up, add up, add up. And this moment, when it becomes 5, this will check if I not equals 5. So we know I equals 5. So it's I equal 5 is equals true. So but I not equals 5 is equals false. So whenever this becomes false, or this condition becomes false, This will break out of the code and your program will end. Now that is the concept of while loops and for loops. And there's also some additional things you have to know for working in loops. They are break statement. So let me just show you what I mean by that. Suppose I made for I in range 1, if I print I, which is gonna break. So just guess what will happen here. No, this, just guess what will happen here. Now I want you to comment down below what's going to happen here, or just comment down below what's going to happen here. Okay, so let's just run this program. Now we call this a break keyword. You see that nothing shows. A break is going to break from the loop. Now suppose I'm saying the same thing for while loop. Now there's one more thing about while loop what I forgot to teach you is if you want to add up to infinity, like since for loops are considerable as a point at the end. But suppose I want you to add 1 to as infinity as I want. So you say while true. Whenever I say while true, it will become true always. It will never go false, so it will loop for infinity. Now this program, you see, it will never end. It's been a short amount of time and will already go for like what 10 million or something. Now if I see the last value was 174,979, so that's how fast Python is. It's super fast. We've been creating 179,000 numbers in a really short amount of time. Now this is what a true condition. Now suppose I'll say while true and I plus is equals 1 and say break. Now whenever I do this, you'll see, I'll just print I the end. Now we know this program won't get executed because this break condition is before this program. This will break before this does, so this program is not executable. So PyCharm is really high, giving you high code intelligence. It's already showing you this isn't valid because look at this. Put cursor on the top of this. The code is unreachable. Yes, if I run this program, it ends 1 because they add up to 1 and break the statement and it print here, so it's 1. So this is the concept of loop. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be seeing you in the next video.